My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I am currently in Carbondale, Illinois, and I am still under attack by Scientology. So let me explain Scientology. There are more than three dimensions. This is a fact. Okay, I'm under attack bad. So humans have a soul. We have body parts in the upper dimensions or the inner dimensions, the extra dimensions. 12 dimensions worth of biology. We can't see it while we are alive, but it is there. Humans have a soul. We utilize this biology first while we are alive and then in the afterlife. So the human genome produces an outer space faring creature, a creature that goes into outer space. Upon death, we leave the planet. We go into the star fields. And we are magical creatures. We have a very thick outer covering. We have short arms and big hands. We have big 12-dimensional eyes. We have a head covering that has two horns on top of it. And we fly. We can fly through outer space without a spaceship. We are Anunnakis. That is what the human genome or the human DNA produces. And we go into outer space upon death and participate in creation. So the longer we're out there, the bigger we get. But in our natural state, we don't gain tremendous size. I think we stay the size probably of around planets or solar systems or stars. So we get big enough to handle stars. So we are magical creatures, meaning we can move matter around with our mind and our nervous system. We are magical. Uh, our skin glows, our eyes glow, and we breathe fire. That is the natural human experience. So we go into outer space, participate in creation, meaning we create stars out of hydrogen, in turn, which creates our elements, all of our elements. And when those stars explode, we create solar systems and planets and elements in those solar systems and life found on those planets and primordial soups, all the elements of the periodic table and the chemistry, all of our molecules and this such using magic. So we're magical in the third dimension. We can even do third dimensional magic from outer space in the afterlife. And we help life develop out of these primordial soups. And then we stay with this life and help this life evolve into higher beings, such as humans. And so it's true for the earth and humans and life found on this earth. That's how it came into existence. We are Anunnakis. Human souls created the earth, or at least uh, participated in small star systems. And that is how Earth came to be. And that's how humans came to be. And we can also time travel in outer space. So souls can time travel. So we can go back in time and participate in creation at the beginning of the universe and all throughout the timeline. And that is the natural human experience, the natural human afterlife experience. So we create our own gods. We are our own gods. Humans are our own creators, our own gods. Human souls have gotten off into the afterlife, have went to outer space and participated in creation. And here we are. And that's all I know. And that is the truth, based on my observations and interactions with these extra dimensional organisms. So Scientology, they are biohackers. They hack the system. They cut their souls off while they are still alive or have them removed. And they use technology. So they install technology. They remove their horns in some cases. Sometimes they leave them on. But they do. They install technology in their brain, which allows them to drive their souls around while they are still alive. So they go into outer space while they are still alive. It's not natural. They give themselves brain damage and soul damage, body damage. It makes them sick. And they are subjected to the same forces of the universe, which is growth. So we go out into this to outer space in the afterlife, and we grow. The longer we're out there, the bigger we get. And they have somehow hacked a system. They get bigger than most people. They go out there while they're still alive. And there's also this entanglement property. So there's this entanglement property between our third dimension and our extra dimensions. If our extra dimensions are removed from us, no matter where they go in the universe, they are still connected to you. They are still attached to you, so to speak. So you can take an extra dimensional. It's like the atomic shell. So these are inner dimensions. These dimensions reside on the inside of the matter that creates this universe. They call it the inverse, and it's inner dimensions. It looks like inward expansion. So our third dimension is just a shell. So these Scientologists refer to other videos, and I will make another video to explain the sciences in full detail. These Scientologists have to go. They're a criminal, extremely criminal. See, they cut their souls off. They stick technology in their brains, and they drive it around like remote control. And they are alienoid. They look alien in appearance once they do this to themselves. And some are big humans, humanoid or human in appearance. And this is unnatural too. And they have gotten big. Scientology. And then they cut your souls off too. They'll cut your soul off too because they can drive that too. Or they need body parts. See, under the Scientology process, you remove your soul or parts of your soul. You have to leave organs and tissues behind, and they're made of body parts. Organs and tissues, just like our third dimensional, they are organs and tissues that can be removed or damaged, or we can lose life. Even in the upper dimensions, you can die in outer space. You die in heaven. You have a longevity or a lifespan. Even the Anunnakis do. I am severely brain damaged. They body snatched me. They took biology. I'm an author. I'm part Native American. And I'm part Caucasian. And I write literature. I create ideas and inventions. I'm a tool maker, a machinist, a manufacturing specialist. And I've worked for the government also. Done contract work. It was a private company, but we worked for the government. And I made munitions and other things. So I made less lethal munitions mostly, riot control stuff, and the public could also buy our products. But that is part of my skill set. I am highly intelligent. I like to study the sciences. I study all fields of science. So I wrote several works of literature. I wrote Crazy Bird Comics. I wrote the Environment Creation Agency. I wrote Buffalo Dollars or created Buffalo Dollars. It's another form of currency backed by the environment and life found within that environment. How healthy that life form is. That's what the currency is backed by, especially environment. You create a good environment that allows you to make money, and so it's backed by environment. So that's one of my ideas, or some of my literature. And then I wrote Alien Bob, Bug Bob, Space Bob. It's about helping life evolve into spacefaring organisms, or helping life from Earth evolve on other planets, or even creating life on other planets. And other stories. I'm also Saint Christopher. So because these people can time travel, and my name is Christopher, they go back in time and start the Christian religion. I mean, ancient people started hearing voices, hearing people in the sky, humans, seeing big humans, having weird experiences. And that can be attributed to alien technology, Scientology's tech, or alien technology. They were trying to get people to worship this event. They called it a martyrdom. They say I'm being martyred, which is false. This is a body snatching, kidnapping, uh, uh, forced assimilation. So they look like a Borg. These Scientologists, they force assimilation upon people. I'll explain how it happened or where it started, and then I'm severely brain damaged. So this started about 14 years ago. Some people on social media 14, 15 years ago. I guess it started when I got on Facebook, when I started social media. Uh, I'm highly intelligent. I'm a Class A personality. I was young back then, too. Had a lot of energy, 20s, early 20s. I used social media to participate in politics and to write literature. So I discussed a lot of politics with a lot of other people. We debated a lot. We discussed elected officials, debated laws and policies and environmental issues, and even religious debates. And I'm highly intelligent, and I had a lot of people follow me, and we got a lot of stuff done in government, or we got some stuff done. I'm a big influencer in that manner. And Scientology seen me doing this. They seen this behavior on social media, and they wanted to get close to my psychology. They wanted to read my mind, or either that or control what I do. That's what this whole personality clash is about. They want to drive. So these Scientologists, they like to make surrogates. They like to steal body parts from people, use them as transplants, and they like to drive other people. And they like to read minds. They're like the Borg. They like to put technology in your brain. That's their MO. They want to share mind space with you. So that's how this started. Well, they showed up at my place of employment, and I was making weapons for the military, and they were invading my privacy and trying to tell me when I could start work, when I could stop, go back to work, when I could even go to the bathroom. Tell me get back to work. I'm a machinist, a tool and die maker. We run machines. I'm a CNC machinist at this specific company, and I was on my phone a lot, and they allowed it because I did my job. I'm a skilled professional, and I ran a lot of machines actually all the time. And when my machines are running, I have nothing to do. I stand there and listen to them, and got on social media uh, at the same time. We call it stool time or ass time. Sit there and watch our machines run. We program the machine and set up a part, and it's running, machining a part. That's the only thing that we have to do. We just sit there and listen. Or if it's important, I got to watch it. But that's what I did. That's what I've done for 25 years, for 20 years, 22 years. I had a career. So yeah, I've been body snatched and tortured. And what's important to note here is this entanglement property. So because of this entanglement property, it allows you to take your biology to a remote location and do things to it, like stick something in it or reach through it, and you can access your third dimension. Yeah, I mean, it closes the space time in between you and that removed body part. As the body part leaves you, space time in between you and that removed body part shrinks to zero. And not only that, this entanglement property causes something strange to happen. So as our blood flows and as when we consume liquids, especially consume, the fluids and the nutrients and the particles, the molecules, it's like they flow up this stream, or they turn into a stream of particles that shoot out into interstellar space or shoot out into outer space towards your biology, your removed body part. It's fluid loss, is what it is. And it goes into your removed body part and then comes back to you, or it's supposed to come back to you, or maybe it stays there. I don't know, and interacts with you. It's a disturbing experience. They call it entropy. They're stupid. It's fluid loss, but it wants to go to your extra dimensional biology. It's something about the way Anunnakis work or the way humans work. We consume in the third dimension. That's where we consume at. Uh, and when we go to outer space, we turn in the exact opposite direction and face the 12th dimension towards the opposite direction, the shape of the universe. We face that way. And that's what Anunnaki is. That's the way they face. And they turn around. They get into another set of biology that's made out of a dark energy. And they face a different direction. I'm sick. Yeah, this is Scientology, the free zone. That's the only knowledge we currently have about these people, this practice on Earth. Scientology free zone, the free zone of Scientology. At least the church tries to control who practices alien technology. That's what it is, alien or interdimensional technology. The church tries to control who practices, and they try to give them an environment to practice it in too. Uh, and it's big money. They make a lot of money in Scientology. $15 trillion is supposedly what these Scientology companies, these free zone companies, are worth. These people supplying this technology, it's not the church. They're worth 15, and now they're trying to make more money off of me. They think they got me kidnapped. They're going to use my intellectual property, and they are selling seats to my phone service. So this telepathy they have given me, they're letting other Scientologists buy access to it. They're letting other people share my mind space and hear my thoughts and read my mind and capitalize off of the information that they gather because I'm intelligent. I'm a scientist. And they've done that for 10 years. And now they want my body parts to go with it. So these people, they make surrogates over and over and over again. These Scientology companies, Preservision and Humas, that's what they call themselves. And they call themselves Preservision is because part of the technology they use, they stick a technology in your brain and it preserves your vision. So it records sensory perception input. So our sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch is all recorded using this technology, especially the eyes. And they record your seeing, your sight. And they cut your eye nerves off to go with it. It's a very disturbing and invasive technology. They practice it on me illegally. And then they modify it. So they want to cover up the information that proves that I wrote all of my literature and I am responsible for all of my learning experiences and other people. I'll tell you who my idols are in a moment. But teachers, scientists, the greats, people who have attributed to Scientology, or I mean science, knowledge. Yeah, I figure that's why they call it Scientology. It's not, and it's kidnapping. So alien abductions, the ones that we have recorded on in the third dimension. So they speak of dream experiences like lucid dreaming when they're asleep in bed. They experience like being in another place and then seeing aliens, alienoids or alien forms. Most of them, I guess, are greens or grays, uh, and they exist. That is an alien form offered by Scientology or this technology. Uh, so now they're still in body parts, and they wanted all of them. They're disgusting Jeffrey Dahmer type people, and Dr. Kevorkian type people, and Dr. Frankenstein type people. And they had the technology to actually read brain tissue, so they can isolate memories, individual memories, and thought patterns, and see and look at those memories and thought patterns. Uh, so we are very magical creatures. We have powerful eyesight. We can see down to the molecular level in a natural state. So they use this area of our biology, our magical abilities, mixed with their technology. So they have the technology to look at memories and to share experiences and memories. Yeah, they're tag-alongs. Kidnapping, stalking. This is kidnapping. Kidnapped with technology. Kidnapped with hive mind technology. Kidnapped with telepathy. The users of people experiencing lucid dreaming and hearing voices, communicating telepathically with these creatures, and being in a spaceship. So they don't have UFOs. I mean, they do, but they are not necessary. We live out in the open, out in the elements, in outer space. Aliens and Anunnakis. We don't go into outer. However, there is buildings and boxes there now, and UFOs. They can be driven around. They move them around. They have them on Earth too. Preservation and humans both practice this behavior. They make boxes somehow. See, we have tools and technology and shapes and boxes and buildings and uh, uh, the such in the upper dimensions. We have these things also in the upper dimensions. So everything has an extra dimension. So I've been tortured badly. Severe pain, mutilation, dysfunction, sickness, a brain fog. So I'm not as intelligent as I used to be. I've lost IQ for real. Uh, Working IQ, definitely. However, I still had the conditioning of whenever I was younger. Uh, and that goes a long way. Because I studied psychology. They're doing it now. We are Anunnakis. It's on the back of a dollar bill. Draw a face underneath the dollar bill. Just make a line for big old eyes and a face. And make a line for a mouth. The all-seeing eye, the temple. We are Anunnakis. We have horns on our head in the afterlife. Yes, we do. Scientology has to go. And they've done this to countless people. So anybody, especially in America, with any kind of authority or influence or power, such as the government, politicians, big business owners, the internet is definitely a subject of Scientology. They are under attack by Scientology also. Social media, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, they all got forced to assimilate into Scientology. Alien technology, yep. They use it also, they're saying to prey on the human species. Cannibalism, we do not eat meat in outer space. We do not eat humans. They get a divine food source. It's a vapor, a gaseous substance. It's a black vapor that we inhale. It smells sort of like gasoline. I mean, it smells like a biological rubber. It smells like asphalt or something. And we inhale it, we breathe it in, and it gives us sustenance. We don't even have teeth. We have mouth parts, like we have cups, like a drinking apparatus, like another set of lips on the inside of our mouth, and that's all you see. So yeah, this is a body snatching event now. Intellectual property theft, and they dream of turning me into a surrogate. But thank God that Obama is here. I think he's kept me from being turned into a surrogate. He won't let nobody drive me. That's kept me alive. Or at least that's who they portray. Obama's been cut too. Scientology makes us sick. They're doing it again. They're sticking shit in my brain. So they have my upper dimensional brain at their possession. So now I have to mention. So there are 12 dimensions, 12 inner dimensions. These are inner dimensions, inter or inside dimensions. They are inside of the particles that create us. And there's also another, or a dark matter or dark energy attached to us that we can't see it. It makes up a whole nother biology. It's attached to our back. It looks like two biologies stuck back to back. And it's made out of dark energy. And we turn around and get into it. We actually pull everything from this side into the opposite direction and face that way. We actually go diagonal. So we go to the 12th dimension and go diagonal and face that way and get into it. To slip into it like a glove. We come out as one object or one organism facing one way, and that is Anunnaki. We have short arms and gigantic hands. We are very thick. We have big round heads with a thick outer protective covering, huge 12-dimensional eyes, a head covering, two hands, a slit for a mouth. Uh, I never noticed the nose much. They all look flat-faced a lot. But you can see the features of the humans it belongs to. So you can tell who it is. If you knew this person on Earth, you'd recognize them in heaven. You can tell who they were. Well, then you can see their facial features in this protective outer layer, or protective outer covering. It's a thick layer of skin that shows up in the 12th dimension, in the upper dimensions. Or they show facial features, of the person that was living, especially the dead person. Scientology is cutting us to pieces, and they're forcing assimilation upon everybody. And now they're trying to steal, like social media and the marketing companies. It appears they're stealing body parts from some people for their hive mind. So we have a plethora of extra-dimensional biology, and they can take brain tissue out. They can cut your horns off and steal brain tissue and put you into a machine. And because of this entanglement property, they can hook your brain up to a computer. They can interface it to a computer from a remote location, even if it's been removed from you, and interface you to a machine. It's part of where some of their telepathy comes from. It interfaces the owner to a digital landscape. From there, they can communicate with each other using telepathy from a remote location, and they can also interact with each other in a digital landscape in much the same way as you would a video game or VR or virtual reality. So our brains are very visual. So this is a visual and auditory technology, a visual and auditory communication technology. And our brains are very visual. So humans, we have very visual thinking. We can imagine the real world environments. And this technology, it utilizes this area of the brain, like they stick technology in the area of that brain, and it interfaces to a computer system. And they also have a screen that can slide down in your brain and make you look at this screen instead of your normal brain tissue. But your normal brain tissue lights up, or mine does. My normal brain tissue lights up at the same time, so I'm looking at two things and multiple things. I have all these phone services. I've been kidnapped. My brain is in a million different pieces. I am sick. This is disgusting. It's disgusting to do this type of behavior to people. Jeffrey Dahmer kidnapping type shit. It's a serial killer type behavior. I'm being kidnapped, and I can see these people, so they show me their alien forms. They're big humans. They even show me their third dimensional forms, who they look like and what they look like. They show me their alien forms too. They show me doing this to me, or they make me watch them do this to me. They are horrible, evil, sick, twisted people, like occult type behavior, torturing people to death, killing animals and humans. They like to kill humans too, because they can use their body parts for fodder. Yeah, Scientology free zoners. And that includes the government. So the government is getting in on this too. We have government officials twacked out of their fucking heads because they steal body parts for a living. They are using the public as cash cows, fodder for their alien creation operation, alien manufacturing operation. They make aliens. They turn souls into aliens. And the big ones, the ones that have gone out in outer space and gotten big, they're the ones running the operations. They are giant alienoids being driven by third-dimensional counterparts on Earth. Third-dimensional humans on Earth are driving their souls around in heaven and cutting everybody else's souls off and making little Barbie dolls out of them, or using them to create surrogates, or using them as transplants, even for their own brain, growing their own brain tissue, their own body parts, because they get bigger too. It's disgusting practice. Cutting themselves to pieces. Yeah, and they claim to be God. And they do have heavenly abilities. So we gain heavenly abilities in the afterlife. Heavenly abilities. We are powerful, magical creatures in the upper dimensions, in the afterlife, in outer space. I'm sick. And Scientologists, these aliens, they also gain some of these abilities. They lose magic. This process loses magic. You lose magic and the ability to live and go under your own steam. So you lose the ability you lose homeostasis under these Scientology processes. Cutting your soul off, it kills you. You die, a part of you dies. Uh, oh, it's disgusting. It's a sick practice. So yeah, these people have started Christianity over this event. Also, time travel exists because everybody's seen everything. It's caused terrorism. Uh, and it's also a big player in uh, white culture, European culture, I believe. We have a lot of good Caucasian races. I mean, we have a lot of good Caucasian people in the U.S. The origin of white people is disturbing. Also, a lot of warring, king and queenism, a lot of oppression, uh, and bad environments. Like not a lot of food growing, not a lot of agriculture. Grains. It's up, but some are decent, some are good. Yeah we have the wars and the famines and the plagues and stuff to show for it. And it shows up in their genetics. So they're kind of more evil than most people. They're meaner than most people. They're quicker to become violent than most races. So, and they also some of them prey on people. Scientology has to be regulated. Access to alien or interdimensional technology has to be regulated. The health of the universe depends on it. See, these Scientologists, they hack the system. They grow to massive proportions. So you can cut part of your biology off, and it seems it's no longer anchored to space time in a way that it used to be. And they treat it with techniques, and they send energy to it. They pump energy through it and treat it to techniques. They go to massive proportions, as big as galaxies, or supposedly as big as the universe. It's like they are on the outside of the universe looking in. They are massive creatures. They call this form a star person. They call them star people because they've walked through our star systems and cleaved it and soaked up all the gases and stuff out there, which is what we do. I mean, we suck in we kind of eat the elements that we create, plus this divine food source at the same time. Like we drink water and eat elements, and we breathe fire on it and eat it, and we create life. Uh, and these people have hacked the system, and they have gained a master. Wow. Yeah, they say they go into the nether. They walk into the nether and come out, and it looks like the universe. It looks like we're not just a foot. So these people have cut body parts off and gotten as big as the universe. Now it's not funny. They're destroying the universe. So the forces of the universe can be manipulated with magical abilities. We can control space time. Like we can grab a hold of it with our big Anunnaki hands. We can grab it and wrinkle it. We can cause a wrinkle in it and move particles around. This is where our magic comes from. This is how magic exists. We can put it anywhere we want to. Controlling it's uh, that type of biological function. It's magic, and we warp space time because we are made of matter, and we can fly. I mean, it's a crazy experience. It's an awesome experience. So these Scientologists are breaking the universe. They're putting holes in space time and pushing people out of it, outside of the universe. Like they cut space time. They took tools up there, and they do crazy things to their biology that allows them to cut through it. They say they peel their skin back or expose nerves and bone tissue and do some kind of weird motion. It puts a hole in space time. That's disturbing too. And they put people through it. Like they put out biologies that push people through it. That's damaging to the environment. They can also remove space time, so they can take chunks out of it. Some of these people can chunks back to their box. They put a big box up there, so they can go up there. These aliens, they go back and forth to their boxes. Some of them do. Some of them still live in outer space. So I'm sick. Not only have they stole my extra dimensional biology, they have also mutilated me. They've driven worms through me. So let's discuss the vortex now. Parasites, worms with teeth. So worms have a soul too. Parasites have a soul too. And they eat in the upper dimensions. Parasites do. or they can eat. I don't know if they're supposed to eat, but they can. And I don't think they're supposed to go to heaven, but they can. So they take the upper dimensions of a worm or the dark side of a worm, and they've been driving them through me or using them as weapons. So they can drive that. They can take a worm biology, steal the soul of a worm, and uh, drive it around. And they like to drive parasites through people. So they're treating it like a medical process, like it's a medical tool. They have used worms to steal body parts too. It's disgusting practice. It's just disgusting. They made worms eat some of my biology for fun, and they planned on killing me with it. So it was a slow death, very painful. They ate out a bunch of my biology and cut me with them and used them for torture devices. They damaged everything: lung tissue, heart tissue, my stomach, my brain. So I've got worms going up under my brain. They put holes in the bottom of my skull, so I have holes everywhere. They put a hole through I cut my horns off and put a hole through the side of my skull, or some fashion. I don't know. Maybe my horns are still on. But they have my upper dimensions. Supposedly, I have my Nunnakai is still intact. Maybe I know one horn has been damaged. That's all I know. But they have still gained access to my brain tissue and some other part of our biology, some other part of our soul allows them to gain access to brain tissue. It's still brain tissue. Oh, I think they took the brain out of my Nunnakai too. It's all entangled. I think it all come out with the pieces. Body snatch. So yeah, they cored out my brain to get access to my thalamus. That's why I had a technology shoved down in the back of my brain for a long time, recording a screen that I lit up, kidnapping or illegal technology, illegal surveillance technology, or use of illegal surveillance technology. It's a very disturbing practice. It makes you sick. It damages brain function, the ability to sleep, the ability to perceive and process information. So, cognitive function. It reduces working IQ, definitely. The ability to do things, process information, and then do things in the environment like work, perform tasks and work and think. They're doing it again. They just stuck something in my brain. So they're sticking shit in my brain, too. They're breaking the law. Please get away from me. So they're premeditating my death. They plan to torture me to death, steal my intellectual property, and call it a sacrifice because they gained something valuable. I can create, write literature, save the world nonstop until I die. I will be doing it until I die, no matter how long I live. The longer I live, the better the world will be. The more intellectual property I'll create, the more good things and inventions I'll do or creations I'll do. Uh, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Y'all caused my works to be, or you interrupted my works and you influenced my works, and I did draw inspiration. So from some of this, but my works are third dimensional. I started writing and working on literature in the sixth grade. I think that's when I wrote my first short story. That's when we got into literature, and it became a goal. So that's I wrote a story back then, a short story, and I enjoyed it, and I got a good grade. I got an A+ on it. The teacher even gave me a note, said I have a natural ability to write. That's exactly what was on my paper in red ink. And I've been doing it ever since. So they perverted it. I still succeeded. I did what I wanted to do. I've had a lot of success. I never stopped succeeding. I never stopped trying around these people but they have. They've they've hindered my work, hindered my development too. So I plan on studying a lot. My next field of science that I want to study is longhand arithmetic. Now I have a reason for it or use for it to just to uh, use it to explain the laws of the universe as I see it, or from my experiences, from what I've experienced, and biology and medicine, because I'm getting older and this is happening to me. Soul damage, amputation is illegal. You should never cut upon or cut off a soul for as long as the creature lives, ever, 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 never in a million years. If it's required, it should be necessary, it should be qualified, and it should be highly regulated to where we don't suffer any consequences for harmful behavior, criminal activity, such as body snatching, and they're trying to make a business out of cutting off souls, stealing human souls, unmonetized souls. I mean, even if you're going to practice it, I would limit it to lower life forms such as insects, reptiles, and worms, and only on your own biology. And I wouldn't even do that because those insects need their souls too. They're down there living their lives too. They don't need to be part of your sick to Dr. Kevorkian shit. But that's what they do. They use reptiles, insects, and worms, which is where lizard people come from. Alien lizards. They're not from the draconian system of Scientology. That's a Scientology's biology. Probably a surrogate, or they like to use brain tissue to make lizard people as part of their practices. And they make insectoids or bug people and drive those around. They even incorporate it into their own biology. They make insectoids or bug people. Some of these are bug gods, bug people. And they make worm people. So they use worms in various ways. And they have one worm or a couple of worm gods, some shaped like a water